Hi, and welcome to the latest episode of More Than Just Task Management. Good morning if you are watching us live here on the Plandor YouTube channel. And good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of the day it is if you're listening on any of the podcast platforms. We are so happy that you are joining us today as we are demystifying Gen AI. My name is Anna Angelova. I'm a business coach and consultant and a co-host of this podcast. And I have Joris Minsvand here with me, my co-host. Hey, Joris.
Good morning, Anna. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to uh, our contrarian podcast. I know we're a little bit off away from the usual subjects that we talk about, but as you mentioned in our title, we went to an event yesterday at Rotman's, and I sort of knew the outcome, but I just wanted to go and to validate what I already knew. But we will talk about it more. But it's very interesting. We just want to make sure that there is a lot of control and in the unknown. If they mystify something like this AI, the Baba Yeti that's coming outside your door, and if you don't open the door, let it in, your business will go away and it will disappear. Or if you don't, your tools, your application or your platform doesn't have, your software doesn't have AI, it's not acceptable. Nobody pay for it. Uh, I really hate when I see large corporations do this to businesses. Large businesses, they have a lot of money, it's tax break for them. Let them do all the R&D, and I think we'll share some of the results with you guys from that R&D from a couple of places in Canada. But for small businesses to invest the money, they can invest in much better places in the name of AI and not get any result out of it. It's just it tires me. Anyways, I'm you need to control me, Anna, because I'm just gonna go off for the next 6 hours yapping about this thing. And anyways, I'll pass it back to you. Let's start with no feelings, no passion.
I love your feelings and passion and everything you're sharing because this is why we are here to demystify it. And like for our listeners, viewers, like unless you have been living under a rock or just came from Mars or somewhere, like Gen AI, Chat GPT, all these kind of things have been present in our lives, and chances are that you or your team are using it in one way or another. And this is the interesting thing. We are all, because we are all starting to use these things. Like now we are all seeing, oh, this one was written with AI. This one was written with AI. Like one thing I actually wanted to start with when we are demystifying, because again, we are demystifying it. The term AI, artificial intelligence, like we have been like the human race, right? Like people, we have been pursuing artificial intelligence for who knows how many decades. Like if you think about it, the computer itself is a way for us to, like the invent of computer is a way for us to get to artificial intelligence, right?
Hmm.
So the term artificial intelligence is actually used very broadly and loosely.
And
And
incorrectly, yeah.
what we have, like again, that's why they're talking Gen AI or something like this. Ultimately, when ChatGPT came to in the spotlight, and some of these other models that are they're there, ChatGPT, like the main model, is a language model. It's a large language, LLM. It's large language model. And this is actually the best description of what it is. It's not
Yeah.
AI, it's large language model, and it ultimately predicts what's the next most likely word that there should
It's
come
a predictive model. Yeah.
based on all the knowledge it has, like all those who knows how much of information, the data, books, articles, everything, right? It predicts what's the most likely next word. And that's why one of the problems they even mentioned yesterday, if you ask these models how many letters are in the word strawberry, where like a first grader will tell you, will go and count it and will tell you 3, ChatGPT comes up with 2, because this is the most likely answer. And it's not an intelligence, like it's not intelligence. Another example they were giving yesterday was when you ask it to come up with help you find out documents, let's say that have Europe, like that are related to Europe. It will find, like, ultimately it looks for Europe only. It doesn't look for Germany, France, Italy, like all these countries, right? It specifically looks for Europe. So again, it shows that what we have right now, it's not artificial intelligence.
It has no
It's no
intelligence.
intelligence. And the
It's still
fact that
following.
the fact that we're on version who knows what of even ChatGPT, right? 4 or whatever the version is, if it was intelligence that was learning and adapting, why are we creating new models? Actually, as we are recording this and talking about this, OpenAI introduced a new improved version of how they create images. And oh yes, is it like leaps and bounds from what it was before? Like the way it creates the images now, especially the text part, Before, the text was so bad, but the model didn't learn on its own. People went and updated it.
Had to rewrite it. Most probably rewrote the whole thing. Yeah, absolutely. It is the fact that we call it intelligence is an insult. If it had intelligence, a human being goes on internet, they can't find an answer. They get in their car, they drive to library, they know where the next source of the data is. They go to ask people, knock on doors, ask the expert. So many ways. These large language models are limited to 2 things: the model that we have designed it, the data that we give it. I don't want to mention any specific institutions, but one of the largest banks that was present at the Rotman yesterday, they said that they limited it to its own data. If you can limit something, you cannot limit intelligence, artificial or otherwise. So like you said, it's the most amazing. I use it on a daily basis because what it does, it saves me time. It's automation. It's what we didn't have 5, 10 years ago were 2 things: large amounts of data and extreme amounts of compute that can be applied together to bring you results fast. Something that I have to spend 2 hours to write. This thing writes in 30 seconds. I take it, I spend 5 minutes, edit it, I add my own stuff, another 5 minutes. In 10 minutes, my work is done. That's automation. That is not AI. But when they put this label AI and they sell it as it is, the 2 things the few things they talked about. The other thing that they don't tell corporations is cost. Yes, it does wonders, but what is the cost? And I'm talking real dollars that goes out. Literally, if you deploy it the wrong way, if a user doesn't know how to use it and they click it and it's not controlled, not governed, it's gonna, I'm talking tens of thousands of dollars a day of cost to the corporation, to your business, if you do it wrong way. So again, I don't want to get emotional. I don't want to get, I hate the fact that they're overselling this, but sell it for what it is. And yesterday I went to the event to exactly get the results out. And I think you mentioned it in the car when we're driving there, Anna, that you said, there's most probably the use cases they're going to give us are chatbots. And exactly that's what they are, chatbots. They've given a window to the user to type English, goes to a certain set of documents that they've already shredded, and the system knows, and it returns the data. But like you said, a few things happen. Hallucination. The other problem with the large language models is not just predicting what's next. There's also second instructions. You have to give an answer no matter what. So it's been told, if you go to all of this document library, 10,000 documents, 5 terabytes of data. You search through it and you cannot find the answer, make it up.
Yeah, the
Never ever go
hallucination. Yeah,
back
yeah.
to the user and say, I don't know. The prime directive of these chatbots and LLMs is you do not say I don't know. That's line number one, the code. I mean, they code it. Never say, do whatever it takes. Don't say I don't know.
And the thing is that with what you were saying, we have experienced this as well, where like I have like it's with ChatGPT, of course, and I know like there are other models out there, but the other models are ultimately doing the same thing. I have given it a precise like transcript from what we are talking about, right? A transcript from a recording of our conversation, and I tell it summarize it. It comes up we think that we have not even talked about. We have not even mentioned in one sentence of this. So again, like big corporations, and interestingly, both corporations that were present, they said they build inside. Yes, they use existing models in a way, but ultimately they created what they created. They build it inside. So what does it mean? What because of the controls, because of how they wanna deal with the hallucination, where it creates something that doesn't exist, that it's not in the document, right? Like it's not in the document, it makes it up.
Yep, they're very
So
high cost.
yeah, well, and what does it mean for like small businesses, mid-sized businesses? And one thing I really liked, we took a screenshot from actually the consultant who was there. Like one thing he mentioned is the realization that CEOs have with aligning business and technology better. So whether it's generative AI, whether it's any other tool, any other automation, and it's really like automation, helping with productivity, helping with us doing things more effectively and efficiently. We have said this before, and we will be repeating it in future episodes and conversations as well. It all starts with the business. It all starts with your why, your what you're doing, your core values, what the business problem is, what the business goal is. This is where it all starts, and this is what our discovery engagement is, right? With Thrive 360 Business Solutions that we offer for our clients. It all starts with understanding the business, and then from there, only after we really know what's the why, what are the issues, what are the aspirations, like only then we can start talking about what are some ways we can automate, what are some ways we can do things more effectively and efficiently, and how does how all these different tools, including Gen AI, fit into the picture. So as a business owner, as a business as well, right? Small, mid-sized, you don't want to be on either end of the spectrum, right? Like you don't want to be, oh, this is BS, I'm not using it, it's irrelevant. You don't want to be in this end of the spectrum, but you don't want to be in the other end of the spectrum where it's like, oh, this is BO and like the savior. It's technology like any other technology. It's a solution like any other solution. Never put technology in front, like first, right? Never put technology first. Start with the business. Start with the business problem. Start with the business goal. And then only after that, you can think about, okay, what are the processes, the systems, the people, the technology that can help with this. This is like one of my biggest takeaways was also the realization that a lot of CEOs have about aligning business and technology better, but it all starts with business. And again, as a small, mid-sized business, you want to explore this. You want to be careful though, because like a lot of us are actually using, even if you're using a paid version of ChatGPT or any other of these models, the thing is that they, unless you have certain agreements, like a specialized agreement where it's in-house somehow, like what you are uploading, what you're sharing, the conversations you're having, it's actually used to improve the model. It's actually used to
and it can become public knowledge.
Yeah, and they were mentioning about Samsung, and I do remember reading about it, how Samsung's employees shared ultimately confidential data, and it was
Intellectual
available.
property.
It was, yeah, it was available for everyone to read on the model. So you want to be careful with how you use it, and because again, like you don't know, and I don't want to scare you or anything. It's just we all want to be conscious about it, and not expose data that shouldn't be exposed to these models, to these LLMs ultimately. And absolutely explore these things, try these things, but start with the business first. Start with what does your business needs right now? What are the goals? What are the problems? And of course, having outside help, professional help, is always good. And as I mentioned, this is one thing, like with the Thrive 360 Business Solutions, with the engagement phase, this is one thing that we do, creating these kind of roadmaps that help you answer the question, like, how does this thing fit? If at all, right? If at all, for you, for where you want to go. So this is, I guess, the main thing I wanted to share, that for small, mid-sized businesses, yeah.
Yeah, what we help businesses do is cost benefit analysis, but we start with the use case. What is this use case? How do we do this? How do we achieve this use case? And then we look at the technology stack, whether it's just a simple report, dashboard, or is it a generative AI? Now there's a new one, agentic AI. Oh my goodness. Whatever the use case is, we will help you do a cost benefit analysis. Do I hire one person or three people to do this at the cost of $300,000 a year for hiring three people? Or do I pay $2,000 a month for this agent to run things for me and have maybe half an FTE monitor what it does? Those, again, we're not saying don't use this, but this is not the end all and be all. And oh, I have 200 employees, I'm going to replace them, shrink it down to 20, and my company is going to make 3 times the money. That is the biggest BS. Any consultant and any salesperson will sell you, will help you demystify that. Again, there are very, very good use cases. Like, I mean, one of those corporations, they said they are replacing the work of 10,000 people, but they're not replacing 10,000 people. They're automating the work of 10,000 people. They're making it more efficient. What they can do, they can go and reskill and those people to do better things. That's
they
what
mentioned
the idea is. Yeah.
They even mentioned an example where something was taking like 30 minutes for people to do. With the automation that's available now, it takes 5 minutes, right? So this way people can focus on more value, more value creation, on more, things like this. So,
and it makes them happier. Productivity. Remember, they also talked about it. People, when you take that mundane thing away from them, they become happier. They become more productive. So give the mundane thing, but this thing has no intelligence. Intelligent people have to monitor it and manage it. This thing, it's just a lot of compute power applied to a lot of data. I think he also mentioned it. He did a survey. The survey came back at I think 75 pages in Excel. He said that after the third page, he would have stopped reading it, but then he fed it to this, and then he realized, oh, I can fed it to this engine, and let me see if we can summarize it, and he did it in less than 5 minutes. That's an amazing thing, but there's no intelligence there. That's not an AI. That's just a computer. Even one of them said it. We have had AI for decades. No, you've had process automation and high computes for decades because you're a big corporation. You have the money to pay for all of that.
And models that are and different models that are kind of learning, right? Like they do adjust. Like, we don't want to say that models don't adjust. Of course they adjust based on some of the input. They do adjust. There is that capability of models to learn. Like, there is that learning cycle. However, it's not what it is portrayed to be. Because again, the fact that you have people who rewrite either entirely or update things here and there to make the model better, and there is version 1, version 2, version 10, what does it tell you? about
Yeah.
these models. So it's really important to not be into that hype of, like, if you remember a few years ago, like blockchain was about to disrupt everything, to
Yeah.
completely revolutionize finance
Bank,
and everything we're doing.
banks are dead. All banks are dead. People were taking their money out of banks and putting it into blockchain, which all vaporized.
And then this morning you saw someone posting Excel is dead. It's like
Yep.
really anyway. So it's
I
really
replied
important.
back, Outlook was dead 10 years ago, 20 years ago.
It's dying every year, isn't it? It's like
Email dies every year. Yep. 100%.
so again, as a small business owner, mid-sized business owner, don't be afraid to explore these things. There is
Mhm.
value in automation, in making things easier, in making your team more productive. Of course, like you want to take advantage of these things, but don't also get into this where, oh, this will solve all my problems. And we are here to tell you that it's just another technology, another tool. Is it helping? Of course, it's helping. It's generating things that, like, in a few minutes, we've all done this, and it's really helping. And it's really a matter of you approaching it again based on your business, what your goals are, what your needs are, and with a clear mind, with an objective, as objective as possible, right? As objectively as possible, and see how it fits within your organization, within your business. And there's nothing wrong with being contrarian. There's nothing wrong with being the one that doesn't use generative AI in your marketing and your copy. Stand out, be different. Like, I am part of Ryan Levesque's strategic group where, like, this is one of the things he talks about, and every single email he sends every single week is written by him. He sits down and types it.
Mhm.
No
Yeah.
AI, no, or LLM, right? No LLM. And I love this approach, like knowing that, oh, it's not something generated, because with LLMs, they can generate you emails in a matter of a few minutes. They can generate you emails for like the whole year that you send to your email list. And everyone is doing
Mhm.
this. Everyone is doing this. So dare to be different. Dare to be a
Yep.
company where when someone calls you, a person answers. Surprise them.
Mhm. That
So
human touch is going to be so
very important.
craved by, it already is, and it's important, it's going to be craved, and we're going to go back to that. It's again, maybe 300, 400, 500 years from now, there'll be generations of humans slowly change to become this, people who take advice from a pod or a chatbot or whatever, but we're not there yet. Timelines are again being very, very aggressively pushed to make for other corporations to make money, but be smart, use it for its best, like you did email. You did. I mean, when you put email in your company, you didn't replace your office manager, right? Because she still needs to manage all of that email. So it's like technology, not for the sake of replacing humans, technology to make us more efficient, for us to do creative stuff. Imagine if your office manager she's so happy in the morning when she comes in, she doesn't have to deal with a lot of junk, where you've automated a lot of her work. When she picks up the phone, her smile shows up on the customer on the other side. Productivity, customer satisfaction, all of it gets improved.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I know we've gone quite a bit. Like, it's already almost 25
All right.
minutes. It's something you can see that it's something we're really passionate about, and we all have, as we've mentioned it, we both have background in data, in reporting, and all these things. So it's something that's close to us, and we really want to be the no BS voice for you as you are
Mm-hmm.
building a thriving business. And
Yep.
come to us if you have any questions. If there is anything that you're wondering, oh, how do we do this? Like, does it make sense? Come to us. Like, either in the comments here. We'll put the link to our contact page on the website as well. If you want to send a specific inquiry and ask about things, we'll be happy to even jump on a call with you and discuss these things, because it is something that it's really close to our hearts. It's something we're passionate about, and being able to help your business thrive. This is what we are here for every single day, every single morning, including the episode we had today.
Yeah. All right. That was a great session. And again, ask us if you have any questions, like message us. We don't mind speaking with you even one-on-one. So again, we're not against this LLM, what they call it. We're against how they're pushing the timelines. Again, going
and
back
positioning
to
it as AI, right? Positioning it as AI.
Positioning it as AI. In
One
2015,
thing.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry for interrupting you, but one thing that I remembered as you were talking and I didn't mention it is one of the key things that when we work with our clients, when you do the work you do with your clients, is taking into account cost of ownership. Because a lot of total cost of ownership, because a lot of companies who tell you, oh, this is how we will implement this, like this tool, this technology, it's $10,000. That's it. $10,000 for the implementation, but what happens after that? What happens when there is a new version of the model? What happens when there is a bug that needs to be fixed?
Start all over again. Yep. Oh yeah, 100%. Remember in 2015, they said by 2019 all ICE engines are going to be banned.
Will be gone. Yeah.
Will be gone. It was 2025, and they're making bigger ICE engines that I can never imagine. So don't get fooled by the hype. Do your research. If you have questions, ask us. We're glad to help you take advantage of the latest technology. LLMs are great but they have specific use cases, and we will help you integrate it and take advantage of it.
Absolutely. Very well said. Well, thank you, Joris. I know you have meetings coming up, so I'll let you go. Enjoy the rest of your morning, and we'll be back a little bit earlier, bright and early, live on the Plantor channel on YouTube tomorrow. And of course, you can catch us on your favorite podcast platform as well, wherever you're listening. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, everyone. Bye, Anna.
Bye.